Good evening, yogis, meditators, sufferers. That's somehow a little tongue-in-cheek. Anyway, I'm happy to see those of you who are on and whose cameras are on. We'll wait just a couple moments. So Catherine tonight is Mission Dharma. Thank you, Catherine, again. There she is.
Welcome. Hello, everyone.
I'm glad to see your faces, and just always warms my heart. So maybe take in each other. Just that in spite of it being virtual, we are together, alone in our little temples. We join into this virtual temple, and we come together to help soothe each other's hearts, lift our spirits, provide the support for sustained practice. And each of your presence is meaningful in that regard. Without it, we don't have the same kind of vitality. We need each other. We need to be we need to have some kind of solidarity as well, to swim against the stream of the world's preoccupations, the world's views, the world habits of greed and hatred and ignorance that drives everything you see right now. And that it requires Sangha, the community of awakening, to go against that stream and to be examples of peace, be examples of non-reactivity, non-identification, contentment, to learn how to be happy in the middle of it all. I don't mean happy in the mood, in the sense of a mood, but have what the Buddha called the highest happiness, which is peace, and then offer that. So you may have come for just a little bit of peace, your Tuesday evening practice period, but your practice is significant and meaningful, at least in my mind. And hopefully it is in yours. And what you offer to the world in terms of the quality of your heart and mind is one of the ways that we can help. So let's practice. Maybe before we do, since there's enough numbers now, we can say hello to each other, hear each other's voices, and use that as fuel for our practice of silence. So feel free to say where you're calling in from, your name, just to hear your name. Your name is important.
Keith, Berkeley.
Hey, Keith, good to see you.
Maureen, Regina.
All right, Maureen. Always happy to see your face.
Nancy from Novato.
Hey, Nancy.
Debbie from Los Angeles.
Hey, Debbie. Glad you came.
Thank you.
Sabrina from Burlingame.
Brenda from British Columbia.
Hey, Brenda. Glad to have you with me so soon. And Sabina, I heard you.
Hi.
Always
everyone.
great to see you. Warms my heart.
Ruth from San Francisco.
Hey, Ruth, great to see you.
Michael from Edmonton.
Hey,
Rhonda and Frank
Michael.
from San Francisco.
Hey, Rhonda and Frank.
Mark from San Francisco. Hi.
Mark.
Lisa, San Francisco.
Hey, Lisa.
Steve, Windsor, Ontario.
Hey, Steve. Glad you're with us.
Margot from Berkeley.
Where are you, Margot? Oh, there you are. Good to see you as always.
Katie from San Francisco.
Hey, Katie, again. Glad you're with us.
I'm Joe in Garberville.
Hey, Joe. Thanks for dropping in. Always uplifting to have you. I can just feel the sense of humor of the whole group is improving.
Daryl from Lafayette.
Hey, Daryl, wherever you are. I don't see you, but
Kathy from Lafayette
oh,
too.
there you are now.
Hi.
Hey, Kathy.
There.
Glad you're with us. Okay, well, good to hear your voices. Great to see your faces. And let's just support each other and feel the support, just bathe in each other's support. But maybe most importantly, bathe in that inexhaustible resource that lives inside of you and lives inside of me, what we call consciousness or awareness or Buddha nature, made accessible just by recognizing that simple fact that you are aware. What Suzuki Roshi calls the ultimate fact, that you're aware here. So once you've closed your eyes and acknowledged that fact, just notice the sense of secludedness that comes so quickly as you feel the gentle stillness of the sitting body. You feel its aliveness, its vibration, its pulse. And notice how the stillness of body melts into the stillness of being aware. Awareness is silent. And anything that bathes in that silence becomes pacified, soothed, harmonized. So welcome everything into that field of quiet. Welcome your sitting body again. Welcome the breath, whatever its shape is, short or long or rough or smooth. Just welcome everything. Welcome your weary heart. Welcome your tired body. Welcome your joy, your grief. Welcome your calm or agitation. Welcome your thoughts that will arise unbidden. Welcome the sounds. Let all the sounds, loud and soft, arise, be received and known in this welcoming field of silent, transparent awareness. Using our body and breath to help support us to remain open and welcoming, remain aware, remain settled in our natural state of being aware. Feeling the in-breath, feeling the out-breath. Feeling the sitting body. Staying connected to this vital point, body, breath, awareness. All together we call presence. Just rest in that presence. And then see what presents itself. Maybe quiet, maybe busyness. Each presently arising experience we notice and we release. We don't cling to it, we don't push it away. We let everything self-liberate, liberate itself. In this transparent field of opening. Just this moment, just this breath, or whatever becomes predominant. Awareness clings to nothing. We liberate our hearts moment to moment with non-clinging, non-condemning, non-identification. Everything springs up and back on its own. Just this moment. When you realize that you've been lost in thought, dreaming, welcome that too. Because you're now aware, able to unfurl your mind and welcome the body and breath again. Welcome the sounds, welcome the moods. No need to judge the wandering mind. It's just part of the dance. Just this moment. Your anchor can be just being aware, or we can support being aware with the anchor of the body or breath, returning again and again to this vital point, this connection with life right where it connects with us. Sitting, breathing, one half breath at a time. either being aware in general or being aware of the breath. In either case, we empty our mind of its usual preoccupations and we live in silence. And as Rumi said, we flow down in ever widening rings of being. Just being lucidly aware. Let yourself feel secluded in the practice, bathing in the silence, healing our scattered, weary hearts, resting in this natural great peace. Since our destination is right here, every moment is both a new beginning and the end. We've already arrived at the very thing we're seeking. No need to reach, no need to push away. Just settle back into the moment. Enjoy the peace and ease that is the peace and ease of your nature. Just this moment, just this being aware, just this body and breath, or whatever predominates. In the last minutes, feel the blessing of each person's aware presence, their goodness, their harmlessness, the fruits of their cultivation of the path. Just bathe in the goodwill. And offer that goodwill. We're not alone. Let your loneliness give way to aloneness. Way to that sweet silence of being alone together. Just this moment. May all beings in all circumstances be touched by the goodness of our lives and our practice. May all beings feel safe, healthy, and at ease. May all beings find peace. As always, deep bows for your practice. Thanks for supporting each other, supporting me. Jeannie, I see Jeannie there. What a treat. We are being held by lots of old yogis tonight. So take advantage of all the blessings present here. So I just wanted to say a few things. Last week, someone out of the heartbreak of the war provided a lot of resources for in the chat, and it kept popping up as we went along, and and certainly want to be a welcoming space for everyone here. But what I really want to keep the chat for little messages that maybe announcing events, or if somebody wants to put in little heart emojis or whatever, just something that just is in keeping with this as a safe and a heartful space where we can heal a little bit, where we can both open to the truth of the whole range of our experience, but not necessarily, but stay in that middle way where we're not suppressing and we're not acting out. We're not projecting. We're just being with the truth of our experience. And of course, and if something of benefit arises, that some little message sometime or something you want me to see, but just be be gentle about how you use the chat. And we want this to be a place where everyone feels welcome and safe, and practice the Dharma here, which is really about, liberation, about working with the state of our heart, working with the kilesas, greed, wanting, hatred, rage, delusion, the me, mine, to work with that in our own hearts and minds, and know that we're all doing that together. So please be gentle about your use of the chat. I don't want to silence the chat, but I also don't want it to be a place where we overshare. Okay, thank you. Any questions, comments tonight about anything you noticed in your practice? I had some funny stray thoughts that I would like to share later, but some funny, some poignant, but love to hear from you. Any questions about anything you noticed, anything about the instruction that was offered, anything about your practice in general, and just make that feel free to use the raised hand function and we'll chat. Just know that your question or comment will likely be of some use to someone else, so don't be bashful. Nancy, please feel free. Thanks for breaking the ice. Nancy, you have to unmute. There you go.
Thank you, Howie. First of all, say that meditation was heavenly. I came in feeling agitated and my neck was tight. I felt like I was on the verge of getting a migraine headache.
Oh.
And then not too long after the meditation began, I felt this surge of relaxation. Really what I needed. So thank you for that.
Pleasure. You have smoothed the path in your past practice, and we don't go backwards. We end up landing eventually in the state of mind which is most natural to us, which is that peace and ease, which is the peace and ease of your heart. So that's partly because you've smoothed the path. I can't take credit for it. Anyway, thank you.
So Howie, can I ask you a question? Is it okay to ask?
Oh, absolutely.
So Howie, I lately have, this thing has been happening and I don't quite understand it, but I wake up in the morning, like for instance, I had a wonderful weekend. Then I woke up this morning with kind of a burning sensation in my chest, and I condemn myself for what I didn't do. I haven't been this, and this happens to me periodically, and I try to not avoid it and to welcome it. Sometimes I try to distract.
When you say welcome it, meaning what? What are you welcoming?
I just am allowing
the feeling that you have of
it's very unpleasant. And mind is very judging and evaluating of what I did or didn't do.
So somehow this feeling here is associated with what you did or didn't do?
This feeling is, I don't know how to explain it. It's very unpleasant. It's a kind of a, for lack of a better word, kind of a feeling of heat and unhappiness. And
so you don't just stay with that heat and unhappiness somehow. I'm not sure how that relates to what
and then
you
my
did or didn't do.
part, I think that the physical sensation is the beginning, and then my
Okay.
mind kicks in
Mhm.
and will invalidate or condemn, like something that happened with some friends on Sunday. But I do this episodically, and I'm trying to practice with it. I think it's a kind of anxiety. I didn't used to have this experience, but I've been having it lately, and I want to work with it or practice with
Mhm.
it best
Mhm.
I just want.
Well, the first thing, the only thing I would add is what I always like to say is put it to good use. Let it remind you to cultivate kindness. So immediately, if you could just infuse your mind with a little kindness, acceptance, mercy for how unpleasant it is, because it's very easy to go into rational mind and either start thinking about why or immediately start thinking about what you did or didn't do. And what's really needed is a kind of soothing, or a caring for how unpleasant it is. And so that, to me, that's first things first. And then if there's love in the atmosphere, then you're likely to navigate it without compounding the stress of it, without it turning into a case for the prosecution. So kindness. So, and if necessary, just make it into a physical gesture, just what you would do with a child who came to you with that feeling. You would just hold them.
Yeah.
And that's usually the last thing we think to do.
Hmm.
We want to become good yogis instead of just ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
In some ways it's more organic.
That's really helpful. Thank you.
Pleasure. Sorry about that feeling. But I think that feeling is, I know I've read a lot from Malidoma Somé over the last many years. I repeat it over and over, but that what he talks about in the Dagara tribe, where when somebody's feeling strong emotion, the whole community gathers around because that person's expressing something that the whole community needs to experience, needs to understand. So they have a much more collective, more kind of, what's the word I'm thinking of? Not historical, but more just a wider view of what our emotions are, and they're not so individual. And so sometimes we just need to expand a little bit and of course I'm feeling something like this. It's in the atmosphere. There's so much sorrow, there's so much uncertainty, there's so much fear, so much outrage, anger. So of course. So it needs soothing. The whole community needs soothing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, pleasure. Thank you. Okay, where am I here? Any other comments, questions? Okay. So I'm just making a few adjustments to my Zoom screen here. And we'll just let a little pause come in so I can collect myself about thinking about what I might want to talk about tonight. So somehow maybe Nancy's comment about her heart and how all of us are in some ways alone, often alone with our moods and our emotions and our mind streams that are very conditioned. And there's a tendency to want to, out of love for ourselves, want to figure something out, want to go into our bag of tricks, want to use our practice. And sometimes it just the simplicity of just stopping and feeling, which is, I'm sure that's part of what Nancy said she did, is feeling it. But this just stopping, it's just so rare right now. Just hovering, not doing anything, or not trying to undo anything, not trying to fix anything, not trying to figure anything out, not try to solve any problem. And to our mind that needs stimulation or wants a lot of activity, that sounds kind of boring. And the thought that the stray funny thought that I had tonight is, and some of you know this, but my closest friend calls Tuesday night boring night. And he teases me about, and he says, well, have a good boring night. And of course it's fine if he says that. To me, it's boring is good. Boring is joyous, to stop and keep quiet, and especially in good company. It's an open secret that there's something really beautiful that happens here in this land of do nothing and undo nothing and fix nothing and figure nothing out. There's peace. There's a little peace. There's a little letting go. And you know what Ajahn Chah said, if you let go a little, you'll have a little peace. And if you let go a lot, you'll have a lot of peace. If you let go completely, complete peace and freedom. And then for some reason, as I was laughing internally about boring night, how do you like being present for boring night? It's even funnier for everyone to try that on. Zoom is crazy because I can't hear you. There's a lot of dead space here. It's very boring. I'm just kidding. It's not boring. It's incredibly interesting to be able to try to navigate this form. But on the heels of my thought about boring night, I had the image of Mother Teresa, who wasn't busy doing something grand in the world. She was just loving each person that she came in contact with. She was in some of the worst. I went there. I visited where she did her ministry in the slums of Calcutta. I forgot what they call Calcutta now. I'm dating myself. I know the name has changed. But one person at a time, she loved them. She just saw the Buddha in each person, saw the divinity in each person. She didn't travel here and travel. She did travel later on as she became more recognized for her ministry. But you think of somebody who lives their life in the slums, but just being available, one person, she probably had more joy in that small life in those slums than people who travel the world, who are changing, every big change makers, all that we think that we have to live an exciting life. And it turns out that, to me, the real excitement is in the simplicity, is in how we navigate our heavy hearts, how we navigate the people who we live with every day, or see in the grocery, or who we drive by, or even as simple as, what's the state of my mind right now? We're all trying to figure out how to make a more peaceful world. But as I quote this 1,000 times since Mission Dharma began, the words of Nisargadatta, and you could probably reflect it back to me. The world is the way it is because people are the way they are. And as long as people are the way they are, the world will continue to be the way it is. That if we want a peaceful world, we have to have peaceful people. Peace is not something you can impose on the world. It starts within each of our hearts. So what could be, it may sound boring, but what could be more juicy and more illuminating than noticing, what's the state of my heart right now? Is my heart inclining toward the cause of war, or is it inclining toward the cause of peace? What inclines the heart toward war? Desire, frustrated desire. Remember what the Buddha said, why we get angry, from frustrated desire and wounded pride. And what happens when we act out our frustrated desire? We blame someone, and that blame just keeps perpetuating the cycle, as I've shared a lot from the teachings of Sam Keen. It just perpetuates the cycle of violence. And if you're feeling wounded pride, Nancy, it's beautiful that you could notice that there's identity is bound up, where you're not doing the right thing, whatever it is that we're telling ourselves. This is pride. This is wounded pride. And where does often wounded pride go? It goes into either judging ourselves or judging others. And so what could be more healing? What could be more a cause of peace than being able to meet that with kindness? That our heavy hearts, our angry hearts, our wanting. And how are we, what story are we telling ourselves about ourselves? Remember, that story of you that plays in your mind is an imaginary you. It's not by accident. It's historical. It has to do with conditions of your family, your life, your culture, your views, everything. It's all, but yet it really is just a little story in your mind. And when you incarnate in that story and not notice it, we wander a long time trying to make secure our identity, which is really a little storyline that cannot be secured. So again, why we need to notice that and understand identity is because it's inherently insecure, and it makes us feel fearful and insufficient and compare. And yet if we can stop, be a little secluded with ourselves and see, oh, this is the story of me playing in my mind. This is a story of myself, does not lead to me. It leads away from me. And what's really happening right now? Thought or story. And that's a mental formation, or sounds, or smells, or tastes. And when I come back in touch with that elemental experience of just being here, something in my heart starts to relax. The tangle of what to do about my life, it starts to untangle. And in the middle of it, there's peace. The peace and ease that is the natural peace and ease of our nature. I was talking to David Lewis today, who often leads Mission Dharma, often gives beloved Mission Dharma teacher. And he shared with me a note someone had sent to him when he had talked about something to do with the benefits of our practice. And, just in relationship to the world that really is in some ways a manifestation of greed and hatred and ignorance. I used to say any movie that's out, any TV show, you could rename it Greed, Hatred, and Delusion, and you'd have the name would be, spot on. Of course, I keep repeating that, but because it continues to blow my mind how much the world is just driven by the three poisons, by the kilesas. So anyway, this person wrote to David and said, it's good to be reminded that my participation in the world isn't as anonymous as I might think. That if I bring anger to the world, I'm adding anger to the world. If I'm bringing love, I'm adding love. I have a footprint, and each of us has a footprint. Whatever the state of your mind, whatever you are practicing. And how do we know what we're practicing unless we pay attention, unless we stop? Because we are practicing. We're either practicing greed, hatred, and delusion, or we're practicing love, attention, harmlessness, generosity, patience. And we have a footprint. So if we want a peaceful, harmless world, we have to be peaceful and harmless. So heartful. Maya Angelou, our national poet treasure from I guess she was the Clinton administration national poet, but she was, beloved and long before that and after. She said, I've learned that whenever I decide something with an open heart, you can interchange decide or do or say. When I decide something with an open heart, I usually make the right decision. I've learned that even when I have pains, I don't have to be one. I've learned that every day you should reach out and touch someone. People love a warm hug or just a friendly pat on the back. I've learned that I still have a lot to learn. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. So, looking to see what's in our heart. Is it greed, hatred, and delusion, or is it love, kindness? Of course, what is it that I was thinking about this today too. This will be the last little section of what my stray thoughts were. I was thinking of what causes us to feel so much frustrated desire and so much wounded pride. The root causes of anger. in some way, it's not being attuned to the way it is. The word in Pali, yata bhuta, things as they are, just the way it is. And there's something about understanding, and then a really intimate understanding with what our practice actually aims toward, which is understanding the three common characteristics of every experience that are not so common. They are profound understandings that are sometimes reduced to the simple truth that nothing is permanent or everything is impermanent. Nothing is perfect, everything is imperfect. And nothing is really personal, everything is impersonal. So impermanent, imperfect, and impersonal. That the mistaken view that we can find some kind of pleasure, some kind of role, some kind of youth, some kind of health, some kind of life that is constant, that doesn't change, that doesn't give way to its opposite, that makes us react with frustration, with wound, with the loosening of our pride. That's one of the things that the Buddha celebrated, when that pride was loosened, the pride in youth and the pride in health and the pride in life, that he just got it. When impermanence became his guru. So if we could really attune to the fact that things are impermanent, and every day we just contemplated it, or just started noticing it in the little things. And instead of fighting with it, instead of being in contention with it, we enter into that stream of change. You know, one of the things the Buddha said, he said that I know of no other thing so conducive to misery than an uncultivated, an untrained attention or untrained mind. And then he said, I know no other single thing more conducive to well-being than this cultivated and well-trained mind, this habit of clearly comprehending what's happening, something that is completely portable, that we can be doing all day long. And just the moment we stop and notice, what's the state of my mind right now? Something in us relaxes. There's no doubt about it. Just to even ask the question that says, I'm open. And if I'm open, I am not caught in grasping. I'm not caught in aversion. I'm not caught in delusion. I'm open. And that becomes, moment to moment, whenever we can remember it, that becomes a salve to the heart, because an open mind is an open heart. That's the expression of an open mind. So even in, it's cross-cultural that we want to pay attention to what our mind is doing and what choices we make out of what comes into our mind. That old Cherokee wise grandfather from the Cherokee Nation said, a fight is going on inside of me, he said to his grandson. It's a terrible fight between two wolves. One wolf is evil and ugly. He is anger, envy, war, greed, self-pity, sorrow, regret, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, selfishness, and arrogance. The other wolf is beautiful and good. He is friendly, joyful, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, justice, fairness, empathy, generosity, true compassion, gratitude, and deep vision. The same fight is going on inside of you and inside every other human as well. The grandson paused in deep reflection because of what the grandfather had said. Then he finally cried out, "Oi, grandfather." So this must have been a Jewish grandfather. "Oi, grandfather, which wolf will win?" The elder Cherokee replied, "The one that you feed." So the only way to know which one we're feeding is to know what's in our hearts and minds, first and foremost. Let's see if there's anything else I want to say. I guess I'll just end by sharing the poem from Dana Falls called Walk Slowly. It only takes a reminder to breathe, a moment to be still, and just like that, something inside me settles, softens, makes space for imperfection. The harsh voice of judgment drops to a whisper, and I remember again that life isn't a relay race, that we will all cross the finish line, that waking up to life is what we were born for. As many times as I forget to catch myself charging forward without even knowing where I'm going, that many times I can make the choice to stop, to breathe, and be, and walk slowly into the mystery. So may we all wake up moment to moment, have many boring moments, many ordinary moments, knowing that the ordinary is really the extraordinary. Each smile, each moment of kindness, each breath. May we all cultivate the happiness and the causes of happiness and peace. May we all abandon the suffering and the causes of suffering, which is non-virtue, which is greed, hatred, delusion, and an untrained heart. May we all recognize the transcendent happiness, the deathless, the unconditioned, the very natural state of your own mind, always silent, always at peace, always free, whenever we can remember. And may all beings grow in equanimity, non-reactivity, non-contentiousness, things, people, situations near and afar. May we all be examples of, or points of peace in this spinning world. May all beings be liberated. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. Catherine, any announcements?
Yes, there's one announcement. Save the date for Saturday, December 9th. It said December 7th in the newsletter this week. So just correct that to the 9th for a half day with Howie in person for folks in the Bay Area at Fort Mason Center in San Francisco. And we'll update with details soon.
Come one, come all. It's really sweet to be in person. I got to do an in-person retreat. I see Brenda. Well, she was, were you a Zoomie, Brenda? I think you were. Yes. We had a kind of a combination retreat this weekend in Victoria, and it was really nice to be with people. Very special. And it's nice to be with you too, even though it's in this form. So come one, come all on December 9th. Anything else, Catherine?
Yes, as always, I've put how to offer Donna generosity in the chat to support Howie or whoever is in the teaching chair and to support the Sangha. Suggested donation $10 to $25, but no one is ever turned away for lack of funds. So you can pay via PayPal or Venmo or Interac if you're in Canada, or if you want to write a check, you can do that too. Make it out to Mission Dharma, and you can message me in the next 5 minutes for the address. Thank you for your generosity.
Thank you, Catherine. Thanks for co-hosting. Thanks all for being here. Feel free to unmute and say good night to each other. Thanks for your practice.
Thank you, Howie.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Noemi.
Howie.
Thank you, Howie.